So the ending of Angel Beats was pretty good, and that's coming from a king.
King, you cried like a baby.
Who did you say cried? You'll be the one crying. Realize how useful clothespins are. Fall in your despair and the usefulness of the clothespin.
Clothespins. Pin things. They keep clothes from falling down and getting dirty. They're wonderful. They can even be used as paper clips!
Welcome, my royal disciples, to my first dubbed anime review. Today I have with me Simply Stippy and Canaanite, awesome YouTubers and close friends of mine. And our first review is going to be of Angel Beats. The first category we're going to be talking about is the soundtrack. I personally, the first thing you'll notice is the awesome opening. I think it was a really great opening towards this anime. And also the build-up for every dramatic scene was really good with the soundtrack. And that's how I felt about it so far. What did you guys think?
I loved the soundtrack. You know, this was definitely my favorite soundtrack of all the animes that I've seen. The theme song especially, because it's really catchy and the melody is just, it sticks with you and it stays in your head after you hear it. Just awesome.
Alright, well, now I'll tell you my opinion. I thought the intro, like they were saying, was great. The quote-unquote build-up music was just kind of awful. Just a piano going...
I enjoyed that.
There was no beat or rhythm to it. It was just...
It was unusual.
What is this?
I liked it.
That's why I hated it.
It wasn't like all the other ones.
It's not the type of tension-building music you
Obviously, I just suck. That's just, you know...
Yes.
I won't be able to show you the openings or any type of music from the anime, though. You'll have to watch that yourself because I don't want to be flagged for putting an opening in my video now because of Google Plus and all that.
Because
But
they just suck.
I will give my rating towards the soundtrack a B. That's my verdict for the soundtrack.
Well, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll be nice. I'll give it a C. C. Yeah, just build-up music was okay.
I'm going to be even
Everything
nicer.
else was good.
I told you I loved it. I'm going to give it an A. I thought it was that awesome.
I was being generous.
Our next category is characters, and I personally love that they had a lot of characters in this anime. I just didn't like that they didn't really get into too many of them. There was a lot of people that I didn't really know, and I feel like this anime should have had a lot more episodes or expanded. It felt like it was too rushed, like they tried to do everything in one episode or 2 episodes, and I didn't like that. And it mostly focuses on these 3 characters, Yuri, Yusuru Otanashi, and Kanade. And my favorite characters would probably be Yui, because I loved her personality. She was the most cheerful and perky and all over the place.
Okay. I'll make it happen. First, we'll, start with the easiest. Let's try pro wrestling.
Huh? Pro wrestling?
What move is it?
The German suplex!
Ugh, you can't start with a tough move like that. Make it something more doable, like a hold.
But I always admired people who could do a German suplex. It's a cool move. I want to hold you down until I win.
Don't say scary stuff so cutely. Ugh.
And my second favorite character was Ayato Naoi. And I will give the character rating a B minus.
B minus.
B minus, because I felt like they really should have got more into a lot of other characters.
I
What
mean,
about you guys?
for characters, I thought they were all great. You know, my favorite honestly was Kanade. I thought that she was just great. Her lack of emotion just gave her that much more personality, in my opinion. Plus, she started showing emotion towards the end, and I thought that she was pretty awesome.
To put one of these lures or some bait on the hook. Don't slimy bugs bother you?
What's next?
Face the river and fling the line with all your might.
So for me, I'll go ahead. I'm gonna give it B. B plus. There you go. Proceed.
Now for me, I really liked all the characters. You know, I agree with what he said, that I felt that if they had had more episodes, they would have had more time to spend developing a lot of these characters, rather than trying to rush them in, was it 13 or 14 episodes?
13 episodes and then a bonus episode full of random stuff at the end.
Which was awful.
My
I
favorite.
thought it was funny.
I mean, no, it was good, but it was just like...
It just like, it was out of place. It
was
kind
like
of
a
felt
slap
like...
in the face
yeah.
that they gave us that, you know?
That should have been a filler in the middle, right?
Yeah.
And after that big emotional ending, you have like a random episode.
As far as my favorite character, I'd have to say Iwasawa was definitely my favorite. You know, the musician in me really was able to relate to her story, and it was done so well, you know, and that was one of the things that I loved about this anime the most, is that their stories were done really well, and they were very dramatic, and it was just, the characters were great, bottom line. And
This is my life. I wanted to sing like this. This is why I was born. I want to save someone, just as I was saved. I finally found it.
And I'm gonna give the characters a B+, only because of the fact that I think that they should have spent more time and made more episodes developing the characters a little bit more.
Yeah, they definitely should have expanded a bit more. They would have
Yeah.
been able to take up even a few more episodes. Probably could have turned it at least 2 seasons, if they really wanted to.
I don't think it needed a second season. I just think that the original season needed more episodes.
Yeah.
I didn't like that they focused on like half the characters. Then what was the point of introducing like 12, 16 characters if they're only going to focus on like 6 or 7?
Yeah, that's the only thing that's, I think, is good about having those few episodes, is that it doesn't, because if you have too many episodes, then it feels like it's dragging out more.
Yeah, just a few more would have been
Yeah.
fine. I would have been fine if it was like 16 or 17. Just something a little bit more. I felt like I wanted more. I feel like it's a good thing that it leaves you wanting more, but it left me too much. Like, I wanted to know who some of these people really were, and it didn't give me that.
Yeah.
So that's why I gave it a B-.
I agree.
And our next category is story, which I thought the story was really good. I liked the story a lot. It was kind of like about a spirit world you go to if you've lived an unfulfilled life. And all these people come here, and it's mostly about this person who has amnesia, Yusuru Otanashi, and and apparently everybody's in a rebellion against this person named Angel, who's really Kanade, who's just another person like them, stuck there for her own reasons. And what do you guys think about the story?
Alright, I thought the story was great. I thought I had a great storyline behind it. It was very serious at times, which I thought was great. But just as much times where it was serious, you know, it had a lot of comedy as well. You know, it gave me like, I'm in college now, as I'm going into my 4th year, my final year, you know, brings me back to my high school days. You know, thinking about, you know, how many good times I had, you know, a lot of stuff
Yeah, I
like
can
that.
see that. Yeah, I can see
It
that.
brings you back to that type of thing, you know.
It's really overall, you know, about like the bond that these people have, you know, while
Oh,
they're there.
that they build up.
Yeah,
All these people
build
don't
up.
know each other, and then
Oh, yeah,
they
yeah.
officially all like
As
become
time
like
goes
the
on.
best spirit friends of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I loved about this anime, is that there's a lot of really great meanings, you know, really deeper meanings in this story, and you know, with the involvement of the limbo and all this other stuff, that it's really makes you think about life and all types of stuff like that.
It got me really into it too. But that's what I hated about it, though. I hated that it showed other people's stories, but didn't get to everybody. Like I said before, like they could have did so much and had so much potential. And
The stories with all the characters I thought were great. They were in very good depth, you know, and they were very serious. You know, they all had their moments, and I thought they probably should have gotten into that for most of them. You know?
Yeah, but what do you? I'm gonna give my rating towards it. I'm just going down the B's. A B. It wasn't amazing, but I enjoyed watching it, and I would watch it again.
I'll go ahead. Since I enjoyed watching it so much, I thought it had a great story. I loved this story. I can watch it many times before getting bored of it. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one an A.
Yeah, I really did love the story, and I agree that it's definitely a story that you can watch, you can rewatch many, many times. It's not too confusing, which is another thing that I really like about it, and it's relatable. So, and it's brilliantly written, in my opinion. So I'm gonna give the story an A as well.
Now we come to our ending slash final rating category. And I, for one, thought the ending was great. A lot of emotions. If you're a girl, you'd probably cry.
Or if you're Darren.
You'll be the one crying. But I didn't think that last scene after the ending needed to happen, where they show them in another world or another life. I felt like if they weren't going to continue it, they could have ended it at that last part with him and her, and then that would have been it. But I still think the ending was really good, and it had me all over the place, the entire story, from where they are and how many people's different origins are there, and it kept me all over the place. So I still think the ending was really good. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I loved the ending. I thought it was really well done, and I didn't think that it was confusing at all, and I really liked the twist at the end. It was. I agree with him though on that little after thing that they did, showing them kind of meet up in that next life, or what we assume is another life. I don't know if that was really necessary, like he said, but it doesn't take away from the fact that the ending was really well done. It was really smart, and it was great.
That twist
Yeah, I
there.
loved it.
I didn't. The first time you see it, I'm not gonna give everything away, but you'll just be like, "What?" Yeah, like the whole time you feel like you should have put that together a long time ago, and you never saw that coming.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I thought the ending was great. I didn't really leave anything open at all, there was no possibility for a continuation or anything like that. I thought the ending overall was just amazing. And like you guys said, yeah, I kind of felt like that last part was a bit unnecessary, but I can see why they did it. It was just to add a bit of emotion in there at the end, Like maybe one day they could possibly see each other again.
Yeah.
glimmer of hope.
Yeah, exactly.
They
I
could
guess.
have. They could have they may have been thinking that that ending was maybe a little too
Depressing.
so they wanted to do that to add like this little glimmer of hope.
I guess.
I'll be honest, I'm emotionless, and I almost actually cried during that. I'll be completely honest. That almost
The first
happened,
time I watched.
yeah.
First time.
Yeah, the first time. This is the first anime I ever watched, and even me, I have to say that there were a few times in this anime that almost got to me and it really made me love it even more. Because the fact that it was able to get to you and tug on the heartstrings, especially the ending, and the fact that it was a good twist, and it's not. There's a lot of times when people do twists,
It's
they,
bad.
they do it just for shock
Yeah,
value, and it ends up.
Sometimes it's terrible.
Yeah, this added more emotion to
Yeah,
it,
this
I
was
think.
really good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I will give my final rating a B plus.
You're just going B's all over the
Yeah, I'm
place.
going straight B. It never reached A material with me. I've watched a lot of animes, but it didn't top the A list with me. But it was still very good. I would totally watch it over and over again.
I'll agree with that. I like his rating, except, I'm going to go with a B just because, I thought it was great. I thought it was absolutely great, but it just, like he said, it wasn't the absolute best that
Didn't
we've had.
reach the top, but it was still very good. If it had that 5 more episodes I was talking about,
Would have definitely been.
would have probably made the A rank with me.
Definitely.
Me, I see it a little bit differently. This was, like I said, this was the first anime I ever watched, and this was the one that's stuck with me the most, and it's the one that I've wanted to rewatch the most, mainly because of how well the story was written and how well the characters were written. By the end of this thing, you cared about the characters, and I was genuinely I felt upset that I wasn't going to be able to see these characters and see their stories unfold anymore. And that's the mark of a really great show, and overall, I think that for me anyway, this is of all the animes that I've seen so far. This is definitely my favorite, and nothing has topped it yet. So I am gonna go with overall my final rating. I'm gonna go with an A.
Alright.
One thing that I definitely liked about this, I loved the nostalgia effect to it. You know, how it did bring me back to those high school days, and how
Absolutely.
I kind of feel like there's a slight metaphor for, you know, when you see everybody obliterate, that's like seeing your high school friends disappear and
Yeah,
not being
that's
able to see.
That is-
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, because the three of us, me and him have been friends since high school, but we met him after high school.
And met work
So, I
friends.
mean, there's a lot of high school friends that I don't even keep in contact with anymore. So I feel like that adds a lot more effect on it too.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you know, it's like I said, there's so many metaphors and deep meanings in this thing that just really make it that much better and relatable to people, you know.
They definitely had a lot of people you could relate to.
Oh yeah,
A lot of
absolutely.
characters.
Like for me going into this, I didn't. The reason I had never watched anime before was because I didn't see how, people, you know, someone like me would be able to relate to, you know, Japanese characters written, you know,
Yeah.
for a Japanese audience. But then once I saw this, I was like, holy crap, this is so relatable, and it's really had an impact on me, and it's just awesome, you know. And people who, as anybody who doubts anime, watch.
Yeah, this is a
Angel
good anime. It's a good starting point to get into
Absolutely,
anime. This is
absolutely.
where I started both of them into anime, and it's been up to many more animes after that.
Absolutely.
I hope you guys enjoyed this Angel Beats review, and if you did, leave a comment on what you thought, and how did you feel if you ever saw this anime before. What did you think of the anime? And don't be afraid to give us a like. You can use all the likes we can get. And I will leave a link to both these guys' YouTube, Candy Knight and Simply Stimpy, in the description below. So just tell me what you thought, and I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And I'll see you guys next time.
Looks like this won't take long.
What's going on? Is that the original? No, she's another clone.
Why is there another one? Does this mean the enemy's been multiplying?
Not that it matters, but he was the first to go again.